Hello. Sorry I'm late, y'all. How's everybody doing? Hopefully better than me. It is springtime, so my allergies are kicking in a little bit. You can probably see like the lines on my face. Got that hay fever vibes, but at this current moment I'm doing alright. So we'll see how long that lasts. Man. There we go. It's as good as it gets, guys. Hey, Cortez. Hey, Edmund. Lots to discuss? Maybe. But yeah, welcome to the live stream, people. It is Wednesday, April 24th. We're halfway through the GH week. Mostly the focus was on Brooklyn and Chase's wedding shenanigans, their bachelor and bachelorette parties. Obviously, we're not going to be doing a full review until the Sunday, but we can talk about some of the highlights from the last few episodes. Yeah. And then also some drama in the writer's room, apparently. I haven't paid too much to the whole story of the controversy, but my understanding is that a lot of people, well, let's start here. Allie Mills, who plays Heather Weber, did an interview with Michael Fairman, and she stated that Chris Van Etten, the previous head writer, is still on GH. So I think people are putting the two and two together that if Chris still has a job as like a lower position writer, that means there's a good chance that, I think her name is Shannon, I forget her last name. Hey Sandy. But the writer, the only African American writer on the show, was let go, and then we find out a few weeks later that Chris Van Etten seems to have a job in her position, and I think Twitter probably went off, I'm sure. And I don't even explore Twitter. I've just seen stuff on like YouTube about it. I've seen stuff on Tumblr about it. Y'all, if y'all are on Twitter, let me know how that went on there, because I can only imagine if people are livid everywhere else. I can't imagine Twitter world right now. But yeah. Hey, Calhoun. You know, I'm actually surprised that Lois didn't get strippers for Brooklyn, because that seems very on brand for both Brooklyn and Lois. And even Olivia. And it would be funny to see Tracy react to a stripper. Hey, Nathan. But I'm not surprised that, like, Chase was pretty low-key. I mean, even, I don't know what Finn had planned, but it seems like axe throwing and beer is something that Chase would enjoy. So that part I didn't mind. And I like that Anna and Jordan were there as well. Because they're, let's face it, at this point they are one of the guys. No Magic Milo. Well, what can he do, right? Maybe he wasn't available. Maybe he gave up his stripper vibes after he left Epiphany, you know? Or after Epiphany passed away. Oh, bad day. Your water was cut off all day. That sucks. I've been there before. It sucks. But yeah, I don't have a whole lot to say, so I don't think it'll be a very live or a very long live stream. But I think I will say that that's the big mic there. Yeah, now you know, it's because I'm using a different camera, so now you can actually see, this mic has always been here. It's just that the camera is like a wide lens now, as opposed to like my usual laptop one that you guys usually seen me on before. But this mic has always been there, just out of your guys' sight, so you can hear me. But it's honestly it's not as big as it looks on the screen. Well, that's even the mic that I record my demos on. Just my like at-home demos, not like the stuff I go into a studio for, obviously. But it works to serve its purpose of talking to you guys and doing my demos and things like that. But yeah, the things that I've liked about the last... Okay. I guess we can talk about Mondays a little bit too. Did Spinelli ever dance with Magic Milo? He sure did, at the nurse's ball. The nurse's ball where Max Chmerkovsky hopped on, which I think was the first comeback nurse's ball. But yeah, I mean, I guess one of the interesting scenes that we should discuss, and I didn't put it in the thumbnail, but I think, I did the thumbnail this morning at like 6, so my bad. But obviously, the scenes between Ava and Nina on Monday were eye-opening, to say the least. And how do y'all feel about it? Like, it's a little weird to me. It's very much like the Ava of old, but it's felt like she hasn't been that girl for a while. So it was I don't know. It was interesting that they're going there with her character, that she's, that she weaseled her way into Sunny's circle and just to take advantage and have a good relationship with her daughter's father, and admitted that she likes being around him and being needed and wanted by him, and she's just all in on that. And then it convinced Nina to sign the divorce papers, and at least that's done. But I am concerned. Like, I hope that Ava still has enough of a conscience to be like, there's something off with Sunny to someone, and someone's messing with his meds, and to get him help. Really wanted Nina to catch Sunny and Ava in bed. That would have been something. I feel like that would it have been more entertaining? Or was this better? I think Jocelyn and Jason both feel like Sunny's victims away. I feel like they believe they're not victims in a way, psychologically. Angel, you said it, but I hope Ava tells Sunny the truth about... Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I hope that Ava tells Sunny the truth, but I think... I feel like even if she does, right? I don't know if Sunny's gonna buy it. He's gonna see, wait, you took my meds without permission? What were you doing having my meds? And freak out about that and not focus on the fact that somebody's messing with them. Or maybe he'll accuse her of messing with them. Or maybe someone else will. Like, my worry is that, obviously Christina's been very wary of Ava, more so than anybody. And I feel like Christina might find out about the meds herself somehow, and then obviously she's going to accuse Ava of messing with the meds, and it'll blow up in her face, and Sunny will have no one left. But I don't know. It's hard to say. Ava's up to something wicked. Yeah, you're right. But I still, like, I don't want Ava fully bad again. She needs to... And like, to that end, I think we discussed it on Sunday. Like, if Ava is being written to mess with or like keep Sunny messed up on these not so potent meds, she learned nothing from Morgan's death, and that's... Ava's smart. I'd like to believe that Ava, at the very least, is smart and wouldn't be stupid enough to try again to keep Sunny unhinged. because she enjoys that he's pushed everyone away, and she's like, you know, weaseled her way into the fold, and they read her as some like abusive whatever. You might be right, Kaiwan. It's so crazy to me that it seems like Christina just overlooked all the bad things. It's weird, like. And then, you know, she even had the feeble old man talk of Cyrus again. And I'm like, that is... They're throwing that line down our throats so much that it's irritating. Because we all watch. He's not a feeble old man. He wasn't a feeble old man when, you know, Sonny attacked him in the church either. Like, sure, he had, like, what was it? A heart attack or whatever before or something? And was recovering, but he wasn't feeble. Like, he was well enough to go back out there and feel strong enough to mess with Sonny. Like, it's just crazy. But yeah, that part was just interesting. And obviously Christina and Jocelyn came to blows at the bachelorette party. And Jocelyn went to Jason for advice. Like mother, like daughter, I guess. And I don't know. I didn't find their talk absolutely breathtaking or anything. I think that Jason was obviously able to get some insight on Dex because he hasn't met him yet. And I think Sonny, obviously Jason sees that Sonny is not the same person as he was. He doesn't know the reason, but he knows that there's something off. And Jason promised Jocelyn that he'll make sure that Sonny doesn't kill Dex. So if Sonny manages to, Jocelyn will never forgive him either. And then she'll think that Jason's not as reliable as her mother seems to think he is. But yeah, as for the fun, lighthearted stuff, I liked seeing... I feel like I enjoyed the bachelorette party more than the bachelor party. Just because we got to see, like, Tracy and Lois and Olivia letting loose, and Maxie having fun, Spinelli being the DJ and having fun on the dance floor, too. I just wish that they made the music a bit more realistic, made it actually loud in there. Like, you could tell that everybody was dancing to nothing. Yeah, I don't get it either, Angel. I don't know why they're trying to write Cyrus as a victim. Like, yeah, you're right. He tried to take out the whole Corinthos clan a few years ago. He got Sasha addicted to drugs. Like, all this shit happened. He probably killed Austin too. But they're gonna drop that, obviously. Cyrus and Sonny probably have a 10-year age difference. If that even. Like, the only difference is that, like, and this is no shade, I'm just stating, Sonny dyes his hair and Cyrus doesn't. If Sonny didn't dye his hair would be just as gray as Cyrus's. So, Tracy with her ponytail, she looked good. Jane Elliott's beautiful. Oh, I love her. And I love seeing her act drunk, and she's just fun to watch. And her and Rena together are like, hysterical. So I'm sure that they had a lot of fun shooting that episode. It was fun to watch. Who's Lex Luthor and Lowe and Clark? What else? But yeah, obviously Gregory's not doing so well. Sorry guys. It's the allergies. They're kicking my ass, but I'm hanging in there. Freaked out when I saw Sam's gray roots. We are all getting old. Listen, I started to get gray in like my early 20s. I'm in my 30s. I don't dye my hair. I don't plan on dyeing my hair. I like me a silver fox, so I'd like to think I'd look good as a silver fox. We'll see. But But yeah, I lost my train of thought. Sorry, guys. Yeah, the Sonny and Cyrus thing, it's so ridiculous to me, and it's so heavy-handed. It's irritating. Trying to think of what else to talk about. Gregory, yeah, Gregory's not doing so well. He's determined to make it for the wedding. I wonder if we're still going to see the Falconary clan, even though we don't know any of them really, but I want to see old neighborhood people acting chaotic. I have 2 gray hairs since my early 20s too. It happens to us all. Honestly, Kaiwan, I didn't really quite understand. What else can I say about these last few episodes? Not much. Like, honestly, like, the last 2 episodes have really been focused on Chase and Brooklyn. So, and there's not much there, you know what I mean? They're like a fluff couple. Obviously, Dex is facing a little bit of backlash from the PCPD for even daring to join in the first place. But, I don't feel sorry for him. Anna says she's been there. Dex, I'm like you worked for the guy. But, you know, Sonny is unhinged enough right now that he will kill him. If he wants to kill him, he's gonna damn well try. And I don't think Ava's gonna stop him. Because then Sonny will see it as a betrayal and she'll be out in the cold like everybody else. What else to talk about? I honestly don't have too much more to say. What do you guys want to talk about? Angel, you said a few months ago I saw one of my gray hairs in my rearview mirror backing out of my driveway. Oh, you long now. Oh, man. Nah. Like, even I have a little bit of it in my beard, too, and I'm like, I like that. It's got, like, a little strip of it, and I'm like, sweet. A little bit of badassery, but I'm just vibing with it. It happened, like I said, it happens to all of us, so it is what it is. Oh yes, now that there's more of you in the chat, we talked about it when I first came on, but what is going on in the Twitterverse, for those of you that are on there, about the controversy of what Ali Mills said about Chris Van Etten still being in the writer's room? And then obviously people putting 2 and 2 together that Shannon, I forget her last name, but the African-American writer that used to write a lot of Trina and Stella and Curtis and Portia's and Jordan's dialogue and TJ's, was booted to give Chris a spot in the writer's room still. What is y'all's take on that? What is Twitter's take on that? How mad is everybody over there? Because all I have is your take. And what's your guys' take as well? Like, what is your thoughts on that too? Oh, you don't know about the drama of the Ali Mills part? It's just that Ali Mills, who played Heather Weber, had an interview with Michael Fairman, and she revealed that Chris Van Etten was in the writer's room still, which wasn't really known. I think people just assumed that they were fired and no longer in the room, period. But since Chris, at the very least Chris is, they're thinking that they pushed Shannon out to give Chris a spot in the writer's room still to this day. And some are freaking out over that fact. They're bringing racism into it, but they're also just being like, well, they fired Chris for a reason. Why are they still giving him room in the writer's room? Like, that's kind of the gist of what I've heard on like Tumblr and stuff. I just feel like it's probably in like 10 times more crazy in the Twitter land. But I have no grasp to that. People were heated, especially Sabrina and Trina fans. Yeah, the Ally Mills stuff came out I think just yesterday or the day before. Because the interview was like just then, and I think Michael Fairman even removed it because of how much of a spotlight it got. And she didn't really say much. She just mentioned that Chris was still in the writer's room, and that supposedly Chris Van Etten was the one who wrote that Heather had like a poisoned, broken hip, and Patrick liked it and kept it in the story. I don't know enough about what goes down in the breakdown writer's room. Obviously, Patrick and Elizabeth come up with stories, but then there's like the day-to-day script writers and dialogue writers, and it's a whole ecosystem of things that I am not privy to and I know nothing about. The only thing I know for sure is that people are kind of putting those two things together and making something out of that. Whether it happens to be true or not, I don't know. Michael Fairman had to know that was going to be controversial. He knows how soap fans are. Hey, Nikisha. Well, like, he didn't ask her about like Chris specifically. Ally just brought him up because I think he just asked how she felt about the story and like the possible redemption of Heather and the hip storyline, and I think she just stated her opinion on it. So did Chris get demoted or fired? Well, he clearly got demoted if he's still in the writer's room, because if he's still in the writer's room, then that means he's not let go. No, I didn't, Taiwan. But yeah, so it feels like a demotion more than a firing. Yeah, I do agree, Sandy. And I know there was a lot of heat surrounding her being let go as well. I don't know if we even touched on it. We probably didn't touch on it because I was probably not streaming as much. Nikisha, you were shocked to hear that Chris worked there too? Yeah, I was too. Honestly, I just assumed like they would just be let go, and they've seemed to like be on this start fresh kick, because like there's some names in the like credits for the writing for the day-to-day that I don't even recognize. So I'm like, clearly there's been more of a shakeup than we're privy to, and we talked about it on Sunday a little bit, that like even in wardrobe and makeup it's improved, so there must be replacements going on in there. If anyone is fired or demoted, it should be Frank. His time could come, we don't know. It's hard to say. And like to that end, like they have to be taking a chance on someone, because like who, like, I don't know who the other executive producers are in other soaps, but like, is there someone out there that you guys think would do better than Frank that we know of, like that you guys know of? Controversy with the writers, no wonder the show is weird now. Yeah, it's I would love to know the behind the scenes details. Yeah, so would I. I wish we were privy to that. That in itself seems like a more interesting soap currently, but it is what it is. DG said paging Wendy Rich. I know. I don't recognize many of the writers also, and I've been following soap writing teams since the 70s. I know all the big names. Wendy Rich. Yeah. Wendy's a legend, y'all. Truly. I'm sorry if I'm saying her last name, but I know exactly who you're talking about. 90s writers, wrote all the like really good, heart-wrenching stories of the 90s. But yeah, the writing is very choppy right now, and all the characters are doing a 180. The actors have said as such as well, but the actors are excited about it. So I wish I shared that excitement. When he's producing The Bay, And I've heard good things about the Bay, but I just don't watch it. And like so many GH cast members are on there too. But yeah, that's the reality. Like now at this point, they're gonna have to, if they're gonna want to like change soaps up in a way that's impactful, they have to put their faith in someone that's fresh blood, maybe like a younger perspective or something. Because you're right, a lot of people that were the legends have passed away or retired, so they need to be giving someone else a chance. But as you guys know, especially in soaps, they really share everything. They share the actors, you know, they leave one soap, they join another, and the ones that are losing or leaving another jump onto GH. And you know, the same thing happened in the writer's room, and I'm assuming the same thing has happened over the years in the producer seat. So I don't know. What do you feel if they did a really political thing for the show, like talk about Israeli protests and put that in the soap, GH? I mean, I feel like it would fall flat on GH because there's no Israeli characters or Palestinian characters either. And let's face it, they're too focused on their own lives to really talk about talk about the real world in that situation. I think they kind of hinted that Finn's friend that he called a few weeks ago might have been in Ukraine, so I guess maybe that's as political as it got. They just mentioned he's in a war zone, and like we know the wars that are currently going on. So like his friend was in Doctors Without Borders and helping out in a place that really needed it, and they just slightly touched on it, but that's it. Whoop. Sorry if I froze, y'all. Sorry if I froze. Someone called me. I'm okay. We're here. Your thing didn't lag. Unless it didn't freeze for you guys at all and it just froze on my end. But yeah. Some need writers that aren't familiar with the history. Well, no, we're not talking about writers. We're talking about producers. The Bay is pretty corny. It's like a project done by a film student or something. And after they canceled One Life to Live, it became that was the only real political soap. Was One Life political? Or are you saying GH is? I feel like GH has always just been like very much progressive in like their storytelling. They've not been afraid to like address things like AIDS and like and same-sex relationships, and even calling those things political, that rolls my eyes. It's like, no, it's just real life. Like, I don't know. The producers knowing the history are just as important as the writers. They both guide the show. Yeah, but like you said, they're all dying or dead. So what do we do then? Like, do we just cancel the soaps because, well, they weren't around for it? Or do we like find someone that's younger that maybe was a fan that did pay attention to the show to step in and, you know, try to take on their show? Talking about controversial stuff has to make sense. Yeah, exactly. Like, we can't just have like characters bringing up things like, you know, Israel versus Palestine or the Ukraine versus Russia. Like, if it doesn't make sense, because why would any of these characters bring it up currently? The only one that you could maybe argue is like Yuri, but he's not much of a thing, like, you know? One Life to Live wasn't political, it was very diverse and had religious characters as well. Well, GH has had religious characters too. Griffin comes to mind right away, but they've often talked about like Christian faith and Catholicism in GH for a long time. So I don't know. GH only became progressive under Frank Valentini and somewhat under Jill Phelps, but not much. Yeah, I think, well, but the thing is, like, who's to say, because, like, generally speaking, the world has gotten a lot more progressive as well. So that may have happened over the years no matter who was in the chair. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's one of those things where, like, I think Angel said it. Like, it has to make sense. It has to make sense, otherwise, exactly, it'll just, like, not be perceived very well. And it, like, they have to be careful because they don't want it to be too preachy. Like, they want it to, well, at least they should want it to, you know, seem natural. Like, the only thing that I think that they've handled well, and like not even really well, is Terry, because she, like, it's never been about the fact that she is a transgender person. It's just like she happens to be it, but they don't really talk about it. Like, she just is. They brought it up when she first came on because, well, Elizabeth's friend was a guy, now she's a girl. But beyond that, like, they just show her as a doctor, and they don't really touch on it a whole lot. And I think that's, like, the right way to handle it. Just, like, establish that she is, and then show that she's just like everybody else. She has a job, she's smart, you know, she's just living her life, and, like, that's kind of the route that they need to go. That said, they need to put her on more and have her be more of a presence on GH. But I just feel like they always handled that quite nicely. I appreciate that they touched on it without it being too, like, too heavy-handed. Gloria Bonte knew how to work social issues into her adventure stories. The DVX was created when the Cold War was going on between Russia and the USA. They shot down the plane, just like the Russians did. Well, there we go. Angel, you said we have this old conservative crowd watching soap operas that can't handle LGBTQ interracial issues. Well, much like the good writers and producers of yesteryear, they're close to dying too. Hate to say it, but most of the younger crowd, except for the ones that had really bad parents, are a lot more open to that. And it's either like, you can either roll with it or like, bye. Like, at this point. All my children did a much more in-depth story about gender issues when they gave Bianca a friend who had a sex change. See, I remember that, okay, just so you're aware, DG, I was not another soap watcher, but I do remember the character Bianca. She was a lesbian, right? But her friend had a sex change. So was the person that played the character that had a sex change transgender or no? Like the actor or actress that played them. These are the things I don't know about All My Children. Which is, to be fair, I don't know most about it. The only All My Children stuff I watched was Anna and Alex on YouTube, and I watched a little bit when Angie and Jesse came back to the show, and that's about it. If GH is going to have interracial and LGBTQ characters, they gotta commit, not just have the token characters. Yeah, like, it's one of those things where, like, how do you, I don't know. It's very interesting. Like, do I want gay couples? Absolutely. Do I want them on screen a lot? Absolutely. Obviously, as a gay man myself, like, of course I do. But they just need to, like, it's weird to kind of try to bring on new characters at this point in terms of, like, gay relationships, because on the canvas we don't have any gay men anymore. We have oh my gosh, Brad, who barely makes an appearance, and Felix, who barely makes an appearance, and they're not going to get back together. And I don't think I'd want them together either. And then I think every guy on the show right now that's currently on the canvas is perceived as straight. Could they sort of work around that? Maybe. Like my first thought, I don't know if you guys watch 911, but in the newest season, a character named Buck, who for the last like 7 seasons has been like a bit of a womanizer, jumping from girlfriend to girlfriend, and then this season all of a sudden kisses the dude. And then there's like half the show, or half the viewers are like, well, we knew this was coming. And then half the viewers are angry because they didn't see it coming at all. And the actor that plays him has always thought that he was into both and kind of played it that way, even though there was no like confirmation within the writing, but that's how he always perceived Buck. And now they're rolling with it, and it's funny enough, it happened after they jumped from Fox to ABC. Weird, super weird, right? But yeah, but it's like it's giving 911 a lot of buzz. So I'm just saying, like, that's the only way they can kind of maybe throw it into GH, is like maybe just make one of the guys bi-curious. But I'm trying to think, like, how many guys are single on the show right now as well. There's not a whole lot. Drew's kind of jumping around, and it almost feels like they're hinting at Willow and Drew, and Jordan and Drew, and Nina and Drew. Suddenly gay characters always seemed forced. It's not good storytelling. Well, I mean, they don't have to be gay, they can be bi. Bi people exist too. But, you know, it's just, if they're going to have a character go on that journey, it like needs to be a slow burn, in the sense that we need to see him or her, because we can have a bi girl too, be like, maybe just like show them like kind of being in a scenario with another gay person, and slowly kind of getting closer with them, and then, you know, maybe then kind of be like, well, you know, the truth is I've always kind of had these feelings, I've never acted on them before. It has to, if they're going to make a character on the canvas, then like there does need to be some work on how to get there. I'd like to see Aiden's love interest. Yeah, I mean, they're so young at this point that, like, because Aiden's what, 14? It's kind of like seeing any of the junior high kids in like a relationship at all is like, you know, not something that I care to see. Maybe if I was in high school. But on a soap where like probably most of the viewers are already adults, I'd rather see like grown-up gays and lesbians. Most American TV doesn't do bisexuality because American culture pretty much ignores bisexuality. People think you have to be one or the other. That's what's the frustrating thing, though, and like, you know, like, I feel bad for people that are genuinely bisexual. You know, my best friend is bisexual, and she's, you know, she's probably dated more guys than girls, but because of that, like, people don't see her as bi, and it's like, that's so dumb. Like, it's so dumb. But people forget, like, that's what I'm saying in regards to that 911 show, is that, like, Buck, or the actor that plays him, which I think his name is Evan, or no, I think that's the character's name as well, Oliver Stork, or something like that. The actor that plays him is like, bisexuality is so ignored, and he's like annoyed at the people that are like, but he's always been a womanizer. It'd be like, well, yeah, but like, that doesn't mean that he's never liked guys, and, you know, people that are battling with those feelings tend to go hard one way or the other to like try to maybe work past them and fight it, and then eventually it kind of goes the other way. The American TV audience is still not down with male bisexuality the way it is females. Yeah, but someone needs to take the jump to take that chance so that it's a bit more out there, you know what I mean? Because it is a thing. Like, that's the reality of it. I think when it comes to most people have a preference, they can be interested in both, but thus, if I've never met any male or female that didn't have a preference, I don't know. Like, my best friend, like, I think these days she's leaning more towards girls, but I think, she's also had her fair share of guys in the past, so it's like, it is what it is. Straight culture and even gay culture are caught off guard by bisexual people. Female bisexuality is, as well. Yeah, it can be true, like, I don't know. For me, like, my experience with, like, anyone that is bisexual that I do know is like, I don't find it all that jarring. But I also, you have to understand that, like, I come from, like, Montreal, and that place is such a, like, open-minded thing when it comes to sexuality that, like, it doesn't even, it's, like, pretty normal to swing both ways over there. So it's like, I don't know. So for me, it's not, like, jarring or confusing. Female bisexuality is still considered as a joke, or the girl's just playing around, or hasn't met the right guy. Yeah, that's the thing, because, like, people, and, like, I'm not gonna, like, explain something that I don't understand, but I feel like, generally speaking, girls are a lot more, even straight girls are a lot more comfortable being touchy-feely with other girls, right? Even if they're not bisexual. And so I think it's just like, there's an assumption that they're straight, but they're just being girls. Like, you know what I mean? I'm hoping there's some representation in the Gates when they start. Is the Gates the new soap that's coming? I forget the name of it. Sexual preference isn't about body count, it's about with whom a person feels more comfortable. I don't know. I've seen her in like relationships with both where she seems very comfortable, so, and like, I don't know. It's hard to say. Canada and Europe is much more open to bisexuality. America has always and probably will be different. That's unfortunate. The gay community in America still looks at bisexual as confused or unwilling to admit they're gay. It's always been that way. Well, I can get that, because it's like, even for me, when I was not out, but I was wanting to come out, I would say that I was bi, and like, well, I like boys, but I like girls too. Like that was like my fear clutch thing when I was a kid. But I don't know. Like, eventually I admitted, like, no, I'm gay. Like, so I can understand why people would think that, because I think, not to, like, speak for every gay experience, but I feel like a lot of us probably went that route because we were scared to just be fully gay, and we kind of went the bisexual route to just, like, have that safeguard. The Gates is the new black soap. Michelle Val Jean is the head writer and producer. Oh, interesting. Okay. What network is that going to be on? Femininity allows closeness between women. Masculinity in America doesn't allow a guy to be touchy-feely. And that's unfortunate too, because regardless of sexuality, like, guys have just as much a right to be open about their emotions and their feelings, and shouldn't be afraid to cry and seem weak. You know, just be real is what the reality is. But not to say the buzzwords, but toxic masculinity is really a thing that, like, that exists, and it's unfortunate. Like, it's like, I don't know. I've always been an open book with my feelings in that sense. I've never been afraid to show my emotions because I feel like it's just better to be honest about how you're feeling so that you don't get to a point where you're like hiding all these things that you might be going through, and then you just snap, and then someone's a victim of your bottled up feelings coming to the surface when they may not deserve that attack. At least if you can like be like, guys, I'm really going through it right now. I just need some space. It's nothing you guys did. Like, you know what I mean? In America, men only get touchy-feely when they get drunk. It's the same here. Like, but I mean, my generation, right? Like, I can't speak for what young guys are like now. I feel like there's obviously a lot more conversation about your feelings and emotions now that wasn't there when I was a kid. Just in general, like how important it is. So there's a new generation that has that, and they do seem very close. Like guys can seem very close and like cuddle and not be weird. It's just like, oh, look at that bromance. Like, you know what I mean? There is a bit more of that I'm noticing with the younger generation. There's still a long way to go, but like it is a thing that's slowly getting there. At least from what I can tell. I work in a mall, so I see a lot of like young teenagers hanging out, and they'll be like, I'll see like, two couples, two straight couples, guy and a girlfriend, and then the guys will go up and like hug each other, just like, kiss each other's foreheads and things like that, and like, it's like sweet, because like you'd never see that in like when I was their age. So it's like, okay, I see y'all. Straight guys in America don't go around cuddling each other. They do when they're younger in Canada, so unfortunately your country seems very ignorant, which is sad, but like I see it here all the time. And then they attack anyone that even dares to try to be a little bit different. And then they'll accuse them of being gay, and it's like it's so frustrating watching how ignorant people can be. It's like, I'm not saying that there aren't ignorant people here. There obviously are, but there's just a lot less of them, I find. Mind you, America is bigger, so it's like, I don't know. Even straight women will share a shower with another girl, but the minute they think a girl is gay, they freak out. Talking America, the bros aren't down for that. Man. It's so funny because I seen like, isn't there like a video footage of like, what's his name? Jaden Smith and like Justin Bieber getting all cuddly. I guess Justin Bieber is Canadian. But like, they didn't seem fazed by like rubbing up against each other, but they were also probably drunk, so like, I don't know. And also Jaden kissed his cheek. My son and his friends hug. They even say they love each other. They are straight. He's 19. Yeah, like I have a lot of straight friends, and like every single one of them will hug me down here in Canada, and they know I'm gay. Like everyone knows I'm gay. They're not fazed by it. I think it's because they probably know what type of guys I'm into, so they know they're safe. But when I was younger, like that was very much a thing here. Like anytime, like my fear growing up was like, all my guy friends are gonna think that I'm into them when I'm not, and they're all gonna like disown me. Jaden Smith is probably Jaden Smith is as straight as I am. Well, who knows? He hasn't. Well, I feel like he'd be open about that. But you have to think too, like the judging someone by the clothes they wear and assuming they're one way or the other because of the clothes that they wear now is a bit ridiculous. Because fashion is fashion, and people just wear what they want to wear now. You get a little bit. Well, I mean, so my take on that, Kaiwan, is like, or how I kind of joke on that, like, is just, you're assuming that I'm attracted to you? Like, sorry, I have standards. Like, whenever a guy tries to think, oh, what if he's whatever? Like, don't worry, that guy has standards. You're fine. Oh, man. Has he? I don't pay attention to, like, Jaden Smith that much. I like Willow Smith. Willow Smith is cool as shit. But, I don't really pay too much attention to Jaden, honestly. I enjoy Willow's music, so I pay more attention to her. I really enjoyed her Coachella her Coachella set last year. And I just enjoy her music in general. Jaden was rumored to be with some guy, not sure if it was true. I just feel like, I don't know, own it. Like, I think most young people in this day of age are in a position where they can be more open about it. I know things are a little bit scary in America. Y'all are so divided, and it's not that Canada isn't divided in ways as well, but it's like terrifying because there's like it goes from one extreme to the next. Like Willow's music too, yeah. And it's funny, I always think back to like her first song when she was like a kid and like the Whip My Hair song, and now she's like this badass punk rocker who's like got like a unique voice, and like she's got like this confidence to her. She's got good stage presence. Like she's honestly, she's a better artist than her father was. And I liked Will Smith, okay? I liked Will Smith and his rap career, but Willow's got a lot more talent, I find, and she's more bold in her choices, and I appreciate an artist that is not afraid to go their own way. Willow and Jada were swingers. That's just a messy couple in general. Oh man, well, we got a little bit off topic there, didn't we? But I mean, this is just a hangout chat. It's fun. It is what it is. We got a little less than 10 minutes left of the stream. I think I'm only gonna go for like the hour, you know. But I think just to wrap things up, I mean, there's not much to discuss. I'm assuming that we're gonna see the wedding this week, hopefully, if not early next week. I hope it's fun to watch. I hope they don't like have Gregory drop dead in the middle of it. Like, holy crap. But you know, some people find Brooke and Chase boring, so that might be the thing that livens it up a bit. Will has more talent than her mom and dad. Yeah, I don't disagree, although Will Smith is a great actor. Yes, he did a really bad thing at the Oscars that one year, but like, I can't negate that he's a good actor. Willow lost me when she said she wanted... Oh, I mean, they are out there. They are out there, but you have to think too, like, Willow and Jaden, they're at the age where, like, I think they're trying to be seen, and be seen is out there, but I find that the kids that are most out there when they're as young as they are, once you see them kind of grow up and kind of find their footing, it's really nice to see. Gregory's gonna die at the wedding, I'm calling it. Hopefully he dies after it. Yeah, I seen that, DG. That was messy. Oh, really, Nikisha? I hope that's wrong too. Seems weird that it would be that far away. Like, don't they usually do the bachelor and bachelorette parties the day before the wedding? Like, that's... I don't know. GH would. Yeah, they would, Nathan, you're right. That's fair, DG. I mean, who knows? I mean, what happened to him today? That ain't a good sign that I don't think he's gonna live much longer. Hope there isn't any drama at this dry couple's wedding. We'll see. We'll see. Time will tell. I will begrudgingly watch all the episodes without fast forwarding. The show has to get really bad for me to stop watching it, so... And, you know, I'm wanting to pay attention because we do have new writers, and I want to see the progression of what it's going to turn into. It is so unpredictable right now, and that is jarring, but I hope it finds its footing. Like, I feel like they just need to sit down. Someone needs to interview these damn writers and ask them what is going on. Ask them the questions that we want to know. Like, why are you flipping around these characters in like crazy ways, in ways that like are jarring instead of like a slow burn into what you want to make them out to be? Like, why are we jumping ship so hard? Yeah, his days are for sure numbered. Yeah, but DG, that's how you miss things. Like, it was so funny yesterday. Someone on a message board was like, why was Joss and Trina at the wedding? They don't even know anybody at the wedding party. I was like, because Lois invited Jocelyn when she helped decorate and told her to invite Trina. I was like, this is what fast forwarding does. Like, and then you get mad that like it wasn't explained. We'll be like, well, no, it was, but you missed it because you fast forwarded. I'm hoping there's a crisis at the wedding. I mean, here's the thing. Sunny's coming. Sunny's going to the wedding, right? So that in itself could bring drama. And we know, like, Michael's gonna be there. So there's potential for drama, whether Gregory drops dead or not. And we'll have to see. Ava might be Sunny's +1. That would bring some controversy too. Yeah, the actors are bored and want something new. Us fans are just like, what? Yeah, exactly. Well, you can see, but you can't, you know, you can't, like, see what the dialogue is. And to that end, even in the episode that they did watch, like, the next day, like, Jocelyn mentioned that Lois invited them for helping and said to bring Trina. And they missed that too. Also, that reminds me that we got like a new set for a new restaurant, I think. It looked cool. Still like potato sized, but whatever. Shoebox sized. Alright, y'all. Well, on that note, I think I'll end the stream here. We're about wrapped up. Sunday, again, we'll be doing the full recaps. I'm back, guys. I'm back for the time being. Again, I've had offers to do more shows, which is really nice. And I appreciate it. And so, when something is set in stone, you guys will know. But just know that it's not going to be as interruptive. Because... now I've got a show established. The only thing we have to do is practice a couple times the stuff that we already know. And will I switch things up? Maybe, but not in a way that's really going to affect the band and how much we have to work for it. Like, I could add another song, but that's just learning one song, and that's all they'll have to learn. And they're quick learners, thank God. Superstar. Thank you. I'm not a superstar yet, but one day. But yeah, thanks so much for tuning in, guys. If you like the live stream, give it a big old thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to. I will catch you guys this Sunday. Good night.